Hey everybody, welcome back. Um, I get a lot of questions in the comments section, or requests is a better way to put it, for or asking me. I have a lot of guitars, obviously, that I review over the course of time on this channel, a lot, and folks are curious about where do I store them, how do I have so many guitars, how can I afford to keep so many, and I constantly tell them I don't. I have to recycle them, for lack of a better word, or I sell and pawn them off in order to have money to buy new equipment, because this is a very small channel, as you probably all know, and I'm not sponsored for these guitars like many of the other channels are, where they have manufacturers send them gear to review, so they can constantly review items that are probably significantly more expensive than the ones that I review, with nothing out of pocket, or their channel is large enough that it's monetized and they're able to buy new gear. Unfortunately, I'm not in that category. This is a very small channel. I'm not independently wealthy, and I'm not able to continuously buy gear. I have to sell gear in order to buy gear. So that's the topic today at hand. A lot of folks have asked, how do you sell your gear? What do you do? So first off, I don't sell it. In most cases, I take it out in the backyard and I burn the stuff, burn the gear. I'm just kidding you. Yes, I do sell it, and I have four different ways that I typically sell gear. Now, when I first started out, I was uninformed. Just wanted to get something new and shiny. Didn't think much about the asset that I had, even though it was a cheap guitar. I really can't even call it an asset. But didn't think much of the value of the item that I had, so I would bring it to Guitar Center, and I would trade it in. And for all of you, or any of you that are not familiar with what Guitar Center does when you bring a guitar to them to trade in, they'll typically go to their computer, look up the model of the guitar on eBay, Reverb, the used market, right? So you're already at a disadvantage, right? Because that piece of gear that you think is worth X amount of dollars has depreciated tremendously according to them, right? Their blue book, or whatever the hell they use to come up with a number. And typically it's about 50% of what you think you're going to get. So let's say you have an item. I'm going to use $200 as the number, the cost of the guitar. And that's not the value of the guitar. That's what you think you want in your pocket, what it's worth. So you probably paid maybe $400 for it a while ago, $350, whatever the case might be. But you've had it for a while, right? So you bring that to Guitar Center. They look it up. They say, okay, they see these things selling for $200. Let's say your price is accurate, $200 or so, maybe a little less. They'll typically give you 50% of that number. They want to make a markup, naturally, when they resell the gear. And we're not talking about big ticket items here. So that $200 guitar that you wanted for the guitar, the $200 I should say you wanted for the guitar, you'll walk out of Guitar Center with $100 in your hand in terms of money. Now they might give you slightly more if you use it to buy new gear at their store. It's just a bargaining tactic, right? They'll give a little bit of a higher discount on the item you're buying and make it look like they're putting more money in your pocket for the item that you're trading in. So I don't use Guitar Center because you get hammered on the value of the item that you're trying to pawn off. So I also use Reverb. Now, Reverb is an interesting website, right? They used to be very good, but they upped their fees over the last couple of years. So right out of the chute, they have a 5% sales fee that they charge sellers, and then they charge you an additional 2.7% for processing the payment. So the total fees come to like 7.7%. So take that same guitar that you want $200 for. You've sold it for $200 on Reverb. You're going to now get $184 after that 7.7% is taken off. And then you've got to deduct shipping, because you got to ship the guitar to whoever bought the item. So typically, on what I find on average, depending upon where you're shipping it within the country, what service you're using, it's around $25. So let's say $25 for shipping. on top of that $184 after the fees come out. You're netting $159 in your pocket for the guitar that you wanted $200 for. So, or if you recently bought a guitar, let's say we all buy budget guitars here, right? Amazon or whatever, and you paid $200 recently. Doesn't matter how new that guitar is, the same thing goes. You're not going to get more for it. It doesn't appreciate. You're gonna lose right out of the chute. You're gonna lose 60 bucks, let's say 40 to 60 bucks on a guitar by selling it on Reverb. So in this case, we're looking at $40 roughly that you lost right out of the chute on this guitar. Now, eBay. Slightly better than Reverb in terms of having lower fees, but not much. I said Reverbs are roughly 7.7% in total. eBay's are about 6%. So you're saving a little bit of money. So that $200 guitar that you sold on eBay, after the 6%, it's $188. We'll use that same $25, right, for shipping that you have to ship this thing to whoever bought the guitar. Now you've got in hand $163. Wow. So you've made, what, $4 more than you did on Reverb? Now, with more expensive gear, obviously that goes up. You're going to make a little bit more money on eBay than you would on Reverb. What I like about eBay is typically the shipping charges are a little bit less. They've negotiated a better discount with, I believe it's FedEx, where you can get a little bit better lower shipping charge on eBay than you would on Reverb. But other than that, they're fairly comparable. The other nice thing about eBay is the reason their fees are a little bit less is they don't charge that payment processing fee. They no longer use PayPal. The money gets straight deposited into your bank. You have to give them your bank account transfer number, and they deposit the money directly into your bank account. So eBay and Reverb are a little close. You're going to maybe get a couple of bucks more on eBay. Now, that same $200 guitar that you realistically priced, it's a good deal at $200, right? You sell it on Craigslist. That's the other avenue that I typically use, the local Craigslist. You'll probably get, at the end of the day, a little bit more because now you're not taking shipping into the equation. You're just taking the guitar that you're selling. However, you deal with the strangest batch of folks, and in most cases, the cheapest batch of folks on Craigslist, especially when you're dealing with these budget guitars. They're looking for gear for their children. Sometimes they just want something that they're going to throw around the house as an extra guitar, whatever the case might be. They don't want to spend any. They want the stuff next to free. So that $200, which is a good price to begin with, will probably get beaten down before they buy it and offer to buy it to, let's say, $170. You're already taking a bath at $200. Now it's $170. But that $170 is still better than what you would be getting if you had to go through the process of selling it on eBay or Reverb because you're not absorbing the shipping costs. Moral of the story, either way, you're taking a bath when you sell budget gear. It does not appreciate. It depreciates rapidly. And you're dealing typically in that segment of the market with folks that are budget hungry, right? They're bargain buyers, bargain shoppers, and they want to spend as little as possible to get something. So it's a losing proposition, selling budget guitars. It is a losing proposition. I don't recommend it. I don't encourage it. But in my case, I have to do it because I'm not sponsored. And in order for me to get gear to continue to review here, I have to do this, unfortunately. And I'll be honest with you guys, it's becoming old. I'm getting too old to deal. It's a hassle. No matter how you look at it, it's a hassle. Because sometimes you'll get buyers that even though the guitar is in pristine condition, no issues, they'll find issues because they have buyer's remorse, whatever the case might be. And you'll have a hassle dealing with having to refund it, return it, whatever the case might be. So I don't enjoy it anymore, to be honest with you. I can't wait, and hopefully there'll be a point where this channel gets to a situation where I'm sponsored and other manufacturers send me gear to review. I'll be able to do a hell of a lot more reviews that way. But in the meantime, this is what I'm dealing with. But I just had to let you guys know because a lot of you have asked what I do with my gear, how I sell it, and these are the channels that I use. I don't use Guitar Center anymore. Used to. I go through either Reverb, eBay, or Craigslist. And if I had to rate these in the order that I prefer currently, it would be eBay because they have a slightly lower fee. and I don't deal with the knuckleheads that I deal with on Craigslist, or the aggravation that I deal with in dealing with these people coming to my home and meeting with them and everything else. It's not worth it, even though you might make a couple of bucks more on the cheap gear you're selling. It's just not worth the aggravation. So eBay, Reverb, because Reverb's fees are slightly more than eBay's, and then Craigslist. I hope this helps, guys. I hope this was this is my honest information to you in terms of what I do with my gear. If you have any questions about any of these things and my experiences with any of these things, put them below in the comments, and I'll answer them as quickly as possible. I do appreciate everybody that has been supporting the channel and subscribing. I wish you would continue to subscribe if you find this information useful. And as always, guys, until the next time, be well and stay safe. Take care.